Hello there everyone and welcome to a new review on the channel. Today we're going to be looking at Siri X Pro by Hanson Chien, a really interesting array of effects using an iPhone that I think a lot of people are going to be interested in learning about. So let's roll the intro and get straight into it. Perfect. So you decide to stick around, which means you want to learn more about Siri X Pro. Now, what is Siri X Pro? It's essentially an amalgamation of effects using a phone. I know in the intro I said iPhones, but this can truly be pretty much any phone. And essentially it's a vanish of a phone, an appearance of a phone, a transposition of a phone, an omniphone, or a pickpocketing tool. So what does this look like? Of course, I can't do all of the effects into one, but I can do a smaller one. So you come out, you take your phone from your pocket, you come and you remove it from the case, just like that, okay? And then you show it to your spectators, you tell them we're gonna try something here with the phone and the case and maybe some money. I don't have the money here, but I really like to do this as a pickpocketing routine. And you tell the spectator, do you have $1 or something? They say yes. And then you tell them, perfect, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take some money, we're gonna place it inside of the phone case, so you'd have like a bill here, and then you would take your phone, you would place it back inside of the case, and you'd have the spectator hold on to this. So they would put their hand over it, and they would hold it, okay? And as they hold it, you do whatever you want. You say, did you feel me pickpocketing you? And they say, no. And you tell them, perfect, can you lift up your hand? They lift it up, and of course, there's no more phone inside here. The phone has gone, the money has gone, there's nothing to be seen here. And then you can pull out from your pocket or wherever, you can pull out your phone and you can pull out the bill or the money, whatever you want, okay? So that's essentially a quick run through of what this kind of would look like, okay? It's not the best performance or the most captivating one. I just did a quick performance so you kind of understand what this is. So now that that's out of the way, where do you buy this? How much does it cost? And what do you get? So first of all, where do you buy this? I know this is available at Illusionist and it's also available at Vanishing Ink and at HansonChienProductions.com. Now regarding the price, I've seen this different prices in different places, which is a bit weird. I don't know if it's because of sales or because of how this works, but I think this retails for 70 US, okay? But I've seen it for cheaper in some places. I've seen it for 50 US, I've seen it for 60 US. So the price point is a bit interesting on this, but I do think that on the actual side of Hanson Chien, this is 70 USD. And what do you get with this? You get, of course, this box. And inside this box, you get a lot of things. So you get your phone case, you get your phone gimmick. You then also get a dummy phone. For example, for me, since I'm filming with my phone, I can't really reveal my own phone, but you get a dummy phone. Then you also get an Omni phone. So you get similar to this, but an Omni phone. Then you also get some tools to clean it, if you want to kind of clean it or maintain it. You get some wipes as well. Then you also get some instructions inside, which is a video with Hanson Chien that goes over some of the routines and some of the ways you can perform this. And let me just see here if there's things that I forgot that you get with this, because you do get quite a few, and I may have forgotten a few things because usually I keep this in one of my baggages because I do perform this when I want to perform a trick. And then you also get, you get some magnets. So you also get some magnets for some of the routines, which teach you if you want to do like a really visual vanish of the phone. You also get some magnets and he teaches you how you can apply those to get like an image where you see the phone and you see the camera, and then with just a wave, the camera fully disappears and there's nothing to be seen. So you also get some of those magnets as well, okay? So that's what you get with your purchase. So what is the difficulty of Siri X Pro? Siri X Pro in general is a relatively easy effect to do. Probably the hardest part is going to be to find a phone that matches this, okay? That's probably the only thing, because this is not necessarily an iPhone, It's not necessarily a Samsung, not an LG. It can be different things, okay? So the phone can be any brand because, of course, the gimmick isn't of a specific brand. It does look a bit like an iPhone, but from a bit of a distance, literally this could pass as an LG, could pass as a Samsung, could pass as an iPhone, could pass as anything you want it to pass. But what I mean by this is the size, because this is a smaller size phone, right? So if you want to reveal your actual phone and your phone is bigger, some discrepancy is going to be seen. If you do this parlor from distance, whether the phone is this big or this big, like a bit bigger, it's going to fly by, right? Because you're far away. However, if you do this close up and you do this with a case like this that has the dual camera here, and then you have a phone like mine, which is the new iPhone 14, and it has the triple cameras and is this big, the discrepancies are going to be seen. Similarly for other phones, if you have the new Samsung Flip, like the one that you close down, no one is going to believe that this is the phone case for your Samsung Flip, right? So I think the difficulty of this is going to rely on getting a phone that works. If not, just using this dummy phone where you're like, okay, so in this pocket, I have my phone, in this pocket, I have the money or whatever. Or you can literally just do this without ever bringing out your phone and just doing the Omni phone, right? You can just literally do the Omni phone. So once this is in the hand of the specter and they remove their hand, this is going to be a white block, and they're gonna be like, oh, my phone turned into, glass or whatever, and you do that kind of routine. Craig Petty has a beautiful routine regarding that on his review of this, so you could definitely check that out because I think his routine is really, really good, and it doesn't need you to have a production of a phone, so you don't have to reveal your phone during the effect. It just turns into glass, and that is what it is, So you can also do that. Nonetheless, handling-wise, this is pretty easy to perform as long as you can take the gimmick out of the phone case, show it, place it back in the phone case, the effect is done. You literally don't have to do anything else apart from that, except making sure that your specter holds the phone like this while covering the camera. Because if you give them the phone, you tell them, can you hold this? They're gonna see that the phone has already vanished and you don't want that. Or you don't want a specter to place this in their hand, cover it, and then be like, oh, let me see, turn it over and see the phone is gone. The effect is still gonna work, but you'll have to audience management a bit in that regard, okay? So difficulty-wise, I wouldn't say nothing too hard. I would definitely say easy to intermediate, depending on the routine you do. And my favorite routine is using this as a tool for a pickpocketing stunt. Because as I mentioned in my previous review, the wondrous world of pickpocketing, I did say I was going to do a review on a product that can be used as a pickpocketing front. And this is great. This is pseudo pickpocketing because you're stealing your own money, your own phone, and your own things. And then you can reveal them and be like, oh, did you feel me stealing your things? They're going to say no. And then you say, oh, it's interesting because I actually put the phone in my top jacket pocket. I actually put the money in my left pocket. I actually put the wallet or whatever in my right pocket. And then when they look, the money disappeared. There's no more phone and they're not holding the wallet anymore or whatever you want to do, right? So this can be used as such, and that is my preferred use to this. And also in the instructional, Mariano Goni goes over how you can use this as a pickpocketing tool as well, rather briefly. So that's all I have to say about difficulty. What about practicality? Practicality, I've already kind of covered the phone issue, right? So depending on the routine, you'll have to justify the phone discrepancy, okay? So if you don't want to justify it, then just do a routine like the Omni phone, or just do the vanishing phone where the phone disappears and you're like, oh, I don't know where it went, right? Of course, as I said, you can bring out the dummy phone, but this literally cannot be inspected by anyone whatsoever, and not even from the back. So the angles are a bit restrictive on this dummy phone. But depending on the routine, you can get away with it. But nonetheless, practicality-wise, you'll have to carry around this case, just as it is right now. You'll have to carry around this case. And if you want to do the Omni phone, you'll have to carry around the Omni block, like the Omni block, which is similar to this, except it's clear, right? So you'll have to carry around this with your Omni block, and that's it. So not much to carry around, to be honest. It's the size of a smaller phone. You put this in, and the Omni block fits perfectly inside of here. So you can have it ready to go when you want to perform. You won't have to ring it in or whatsoever. Now, the reset of this is rather quick. It's not something you can do in front of spectators, but it doesn't take much more than like 5 to 6 seconds. So the reset is also really easy on this, because I feel that would be a question that some people ask. The reset is relatively easy. So that's all we have to say about practicality. Now, what about where to perform? Where can you perform this? And this to me is an effect that can be performed anywhere. I think that's what's great about it. It can literally be performed anywhere. It can be done standing down, standing up, table hopping, a parlor, stage, walk around, bars, clubs, wherever you want. You can perform this effect because it just uses your own belonging, your phone, and you can play it out as easy or as intricate as you want. If you just want to show someone something cool and be like, look, can I show you something with my phone? Can you see, can we try something with this? Look, I'll take my phone, I'll place it inside of the case. Can you hold it? You feel my phone in your hands, right? Snap, can you lift up? It's gone. A quick thing that you're doing at a bar with a friend or whatever, gets a few laughs, gets a great reaction, and you can move on. Or you can literally play this on stage, like an intricate pickpocketing routine, and have this as one of the things that you steal and play it out for the big stage and play it out in a big act. So you can play this as small or as big as you want, which also means that the object is organic and the object is something that people know and they're going to recognize. So bringing this out wherever it may be is not going to feel, non-practical. It's just going to be like, oh, he's bringing out his phone. That's normal, right? So that's the thing. So this is pretty practical and you can perform this pretty much anywhere. There's not many restrictions. And of course, you can choose which routine you want to perform because none of them really have performance restrictions per se. As I said, they do have some practicality issues depending on which one you want to do and what you want to carry around. But where to perform is pretty much free flow to do whatever you wish. So now let's get into the positives and negatives. First, let's start with the positives. What are the positives of Siri X Pro? The positives are that one, the routine is modular. You can use it to do different things. It's more of a set. You can use this in order to do vanishes, transposition, appearances, whatever you want to do. So it is a modular effect that lets you kind of play around with it. It's also more of a tool, of a utility, rather than a singular effect. You can use this in conjunction with other tricks and play around with that, which I think is a major positive. Also, it is really well built. This is going to pretty much last you an extremely long time. It is well built and it's going to last a long time, and it's really practical. Again, another positive point is that you can perform this anywhere. You can perform this as casual or as serious as you want, because this is going to play well in different scenarios and play well in different tricks. So those are the positives of Siri X Pro. What are the negatives of Siri X Pro? The negatives of Siri X Pro is the justification of the phone. If you just want to do the vanish of a phone, you'll have to make appear the phone. And if your phone doesn't match this model, then you've maybe got a bit of an issue, right? Because if you show your phone and you have, let's say, a Samsung phone with the cameras that are in a square, no one's going to believe that the phone here that vanished is that phone, right? So I think that's one of the negatives you have to keep in mind, is depending on the routine and the way you want to use this, you'll maybe have to justify the difference of phone, or you'll maybe not going to be able to do certain routines because your phone doesn't match this one, right? Even though he does give you a dummy phone, as I've mentioned throughout numerous times, it's not necessarily the best dummy phone on the market. It doesn't even really look like a phone. So it's more of a, look, I just gave you an option here, like do what you want with it. So that's pretty much all the negatives of Siri X Pro. That I've said the bad, the good, and I've gave you information surrounding it. What would I give it out of 10 and would I recommend it? So would I recommend Siri X Pro? If you don't already have a working phone vanish, I think Siri X Pro is great because it's not electronic. It doesn't use any magnets, any strings, anything fishy. It's really a solid unitary gimmick that you're going to be able to use compared to others that use more intricate ditching, palming, and like workaround to make the phone vanish. This is really just you show, you place it back, place it in the hand, and you're done. So if you don't already have a phone vanish, I recommend this over others. I think this is something that is easier to do, more reliable, not electronic, and you don't have to worry about other things when you perform this effect. So I would recommend this over others. Also, if you want to do an omniphone, this is a great one to do it. It's easy, practical, and interesting to do. If you want to do a pickpocketing routine, I think this is the best and most convincing prop to use to make a phone vanish if you want to do a pickpocketing routine, which is why I bought it, because I'm doing a small pickpocketing routine, and I bought this because I feel it works really, really well in that scenario. So all in all, I think that this has a status of I recommend. I think that a lot of people are going to be interested in this, and they're going to buy this and be happy with their purchase. Now, what do I rate Siri X Pro out of 10? I rated an 8. An 8 out of 10. I won't rate it higher or lower, because if you just want to make a phone disappear, there's other products on the market, and I own pretty much all of them, and I pick and choose which one I want to do depending where I want. So this is not something unique or something that blows everything out of the water or something completely new. It does work, it does do its job, and it does offer some variations with the omniphone aspect of it, and that's great. But it's not an outstanding, 1 in 100 effect and something you would rush to go out buy for. I think if you see the utility of it, you won't be disappointed, you'll feel your money is well spent, and you'll be happy with your purchase. That's all I have to say about Siri X Pro. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see everyone in my next review. Bye-bye.